Heather Moyse. You did see that she beat the silver and the bronze were United States. You did see that, didn't
you? They're very lovely people. They're very lovely people.
They're very lovely because you won. Now, I just want to say, because I want to get right into you in this relationship now that you have and going back and bobsledding the gold, the whole deal, and your book and what it's all about. But I just want to say this. First of all, I'm very proud of you because you're a John Maxwell team member. I would like to take credit for your gold. It just grinds on me. She got it before she became a John Maxwell team member. So I'm so glad, because I want to get gold one more time so that I could say on the third time I put you there, okay? Now, but I just want you to know, when I watched your workout or your training video, that I also have had the experience of trying to push a car when I ran out of gas. And I couldn't budge the car. And so I'm just looking at you, I think, oh my gosh, she can do what I can't do, that's for sure. We're so glad you're here.
Thank you.
So talk to me a little bit about, you're going to go again for the gold, and you're going to join this young lady, I guess, that's a bobsledder. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, I can't call myself a young lady in the sport anymore. I didn't start bobsledding until I was 27. I had never lifted weights before then. I had played sports my whole life, but always just for fun. And suddenly I was just inspired by this challenge. And so when I initially came in, I ended up breaking a testing record at a testing camp. And I made the decision of putting my master's degree on hold just temporarily, just to see if I could do it. And the Olympics were 5 months later, and it was just a challenge. Can I do it? Can I learn a new sport? Can I learn to do it well? And can I qualify to represent Canada? So, we went to the Olympics. My first year, we came fourth. So that became a new challenge, unfinished business.
But you became fourth in the Olympics, and you only trained for 5 weeks.
5 months. Did I say weeks? Oh. I meant months.
Wow, I had you as superwoman for a while. Excuse me, you're human. Got that.
I'm human. Yes, so 4 months before the Olympics is when I jumped into a bobsled the first time. After that, it became a challenge to get on the podium. Can I change that fourth to a podium finish? Because otherwise, fourth place will be my story forever. So it was a matter of, do I want that? No, so we went back. So we won in Vancouver. I was asked to go back again for Sochi to try and defend that medal. And I agreed. So a year and a half beforehand, I went back and found out I needed hip surgery. So that hip surgery turned into an even bigger challenge, like, can I recover from hip surgery in time to qualify? So that happened, and we successfully defended. And then I was done. It was hanging up the bob spikes and putting that stuff aside, because I am motivated by challenges, but I'm more motivated to empower other people to have them achieve their goals. And so that's what I've been doing. I've been speaking, and partly with a bit of your push and nudge, I finally finished writing my book, which will actually be coming out in December. So with John's shove more than nudge, but anyway, it was great. So it's now finally done.
All right, I didn't help you with any gold medals, but I did help you with a book. All right.
A big
Now reality is setting in.
Anyway, so that's all been happening, and I've just been, it made sense. It was to inspire and to reach more people and to help more people other than just the people who would be sitting in my audiences. So it made perfect sense to me to help and reach more people. My former teammate last winter, I guess in early March, sent me a message asking if I would return to bobsledding to see if we could three-peat, go back and win another gold medal. And I just sent a message back saying, no, thank you. I'm just not motivated by that anymore. I'm not motivated to just go and compete and win just for the sake of winning again. And so, and that was that. And sometimes the coaches were sending me messages. So, have you pushed any cars lately? Ha ha ha. Just, and I just said, ha ha, funny. No, dismiss. Just dismiss, and perfectly happy. And then in early August, I got an Instagram message because this other driver we had never communicated before. So I get an Instagram message from her saying, there were rumors last year that you were coming back. They seem to have died down, but I wanted to reach out and just see if there was any possible chance that you would maybe come back and consider pushing for me in this really high pressure season heading into the Olympic Games. And so I said, okay, call me. Here's my number. So we chatted on the phone, and I had to tell her where I was at, meaning I haven't trained since Sochi, just 3.5 years ago. And I'm also dealing with some back issues in the summer. And so I told her exactly where I'm at, and she said, well, here's where I'm at. Myself and some of the other girls on this team, when I look around in training, the only other person in the entire women's program who has been to an Olympic Games before is your former teammate. And she's a driver, and she needs to take care of her team, and she needs to focus on her doing her and her trying to compete. And so there's no leadership in the team. There's nobody who has experienced what it's like to compete and compete successfully in a high performance environment. And as I'm sitting there thinking I was going to be explaining to her why I couldn't do it, I suddenly realized my reason for not doing it was that I'm all about empowering other people to achieve their goals. And suddenly I realized that this is exactly in alignment with what I want to do. And so it's really about me. I'm just not motivated to go back and win another medal, but I am motivated at the idea of helping someone else win their first. So it's been pretty exciting.
So you're really going back to see if with this young girl, if you can help her and push, and she drives, and you can maybe go for the gold again.
That's the plan. Yeah.
So what you're really saying is you're spending the rest of your life going to empower people, equip people,
yes.
But you're going to go back for one more, and the gold means nothing to you. So if you get the gold, could I have that?
The gold. Well, I will have 3. I could give a baby. Yeah.
Well, it's just a thought. It's just a thought. Not a deep one either. Very selfish thought.
Very selfish thought. It's interesting because when you put values on things, people always ask me which is my favorite between the first 2, and I don't really. They just mean such different things in terms of the circumstances
Sure.
that surrounded those. But this third one, it's almost. I mean, I don't even have it yet, but just getting, and I mean, we also will have another Canadian team there, and we're trying to fight to hopefully qualify even a third sled to be competing at the Olympics.
Sure.
So my goal is to be there and help strengthen the program and just increase the chances of potentially having more than one Canadian team on that podium. And so I will, as much as I've said that I'm not pushing my former teammates strictly because I want to help an up-and-coming driver. That is what motivates me and drives me. And but it doesn't kind of matter where I fit in that program. It's kind of wherever they need me, and I will. I'm just so. It's inspiring.
Yeah, you're going from it's not about me and success, but to significance. It's really about others, and that makes me very proud. And because I think a lot of our John Maxwell team members around the world really have got this idea of serving. I was talking with Paul Martinelli, who's the president the other day of the John Maxwell team, and we were talking about this, and he said, John, I think the main characteristic DNA of John Maxwell teamers is they really want to add value to people. And I'm very excited about where you are and what's happening and where we're going. And your book is coming out. Do they have a picture of it, or can you give us what title of it, or
yes, it's called Redefining Realistic, and it's not an autobiography. It's more positioned like a self-help book, but not a how-to book. It's a lot about shifting people's perspectives, using my experiences to explain my philosophies and the different ways you look at things. It's interesting because when you talk about, you often hear the 90%, 90-10. So a lot of people say it's 90% mental, 10% physical. Well, I don't think that is actually true at all until you get to the high performance level. So, I mean, there's just so much variance. Think about puberty, for heaven's sakes. Like, there's a 90% variance going on there, for sure. When you get up to an elite level, like the Olympics, there's a 10% variance in terms of physical ability, but 90% of it is mental. And that's not even just at the Olympics. We're talking about high performance across any stage, whether we're talking about corporate or whether it's in sports and business or just in life. It's that 90% variance on how we address issues and adversity and obstacles. All of it is about mindset and about shifting perspective,
Sure.
attacking and addressing and seizing your potential and owning your choices and your decisions and your responsibilities. So,
well, I want you to get her book, Redefining Realistic. So kind of make a note of it,
Yeah.
and it's coming out here in the next couple of weeks. And as I kind of wrap up this session today, I was so glad that I could interview you and you talk about going back and going for a gold. Because I just want to kind of close by saying that I'm doing that also, not in bobsledding. Trust
I
me.
could lend you a speed suit?
I'm not. But I wanted. Yeah, I know. It's the first time you saw me speechless. I know that. You said, "Oh, I've never seen him here." But I'm going for Heather. I'm going for the gold too. And where I'm going for the gold is, and I just want to I've never really publicly shared this outside of with the coaches, but I want to say this to all of our people and all of our sites. Again, I'm so proud that you're here, and thank you, John Maxwell team coaches, for hosting this. But let me just say something. I'm way over my head, but we a few years ago made a commitment to try to transform a nation. And we have invitations from 22 presidents of countries to come in and do that by teaching leadership values. And we've been in Guatemala, and we've taught in round tables over 350,000 now. We've been in Paraguay, and we're up to almost 200,000. And then the Secretary of Education, Heather, asked us if we would write high school curriculum to teach leadership values to high school kids. And so I said, yeah, we'll tackle this project. We'll do it with our team, obviously. We've got a phenomenal team that's working on this. And I'm with great pride watching these values being formed. And by the beginning of next year, in Paraguay and Guatemala, 2 million high school kids are going to be trained leadership values. And most of these kids, they've never had values before in their life. And so I'm going for the gold too. I'm going for the gold. And I am.